You're welcome to TV Sapienza News Hour. On the news is Oluchi Ojo Bamidele. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for an effective partnership to address the humanitarian challenges facing regions across the country affected by crisis. Vice President Shettima said there is an urgent need for comprehensive solutions to address the interconnected problems of climate change and migration across Nigeria, as they are directly linked to the economic well-being of the population. The Vice President said this yesterday when he received a delegation from the International Organization for Migration (IOM) led by its Chief of Mission in Nigeria, Sharon Dimanche, at the Presidential Villa. The Vice President, in a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Stanley Nkwota, called for practical and inclusive solutions to the complex intersection of migration, poverty, conflict, and ecological disruption. He urged the organization to scale up support for gender empowerment and land reclamation efforts, particularly in areas affected by deforestation and displacement. Responding, the IOM Nigerian Chief of Mission, Sharon Dimanche, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to supporting Nigerians' durable solution agenda, including data provision, shelter support, climate resilience initiatives, and youth empowerment. In Ebonyi State, the police command have launched a manhunt for the kidnappers of a middle-aged man, Uduma Edam Chima, in Amasiri community, abducted in Eda, local government area of the state. The command's public relations officer, SP Joshua Okando, said the incident occurred on June 14, noting that the command is aware of the incident and has launched a manhunt to apprehend the perpetrators, and also reacting to the kidnapping. Amaba Eme, Presidential General of Osa Eda Town Union, decried the incident and urged for lasting solutions for peace in the area. Peter Obi, the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election, has condemned the deadly attack on the Oko community in Anambra State, describing it as a tragic symbol of Nigerians' growing insecurity and a direct assault on education. Obi's statement came following Thursday's night attack by unidentified gunmen near the Federal Polytechnic Oko in Orumba North local government area of the state, which left at least 4 people dead, suspected to be students, injured several others, and led to the abduction of some staff members of the institution. The police, however, confirmed 2 fatalities and linked the attack to court-related violence. Obi, on his part, expressed heartbreak over what he called the tragic attack on the learning environment of the Oko community. He lamented that educational institutions, once safe spaces for learning, are now under siege. The former governor insisted that government and security agencies must act swiftly to apprehend the perpetrators and secure the release of those kidnapped. In Nasarawa State, Fulani leaders have called on the federal government to revive and reopen abandoned nomadic schools as part of efforts to promote peace and address the root causes of the conflict amid ongoing farmer-herder clashes across Nigeria. The appeal was made yesterday in Lafia, the state capital, during a stakeholders engagement organized by the Food Development and Cultural Organizations, with the theme consolidating the outcomes of the research findings on the economic empowerment of pastoralist women in Nasarawa State. Speaking at the event, organization state chairman Mohammed Hussaini, who represented Fulani leaders from all 13 local government areas of the state, identified illiteracy as a major contributor to recurring clashes between herders and farmers in the country. Hussein expressed concerns about the consistent disagreement between farmers and herders in several states of the country, calling on government at all levels to work towards peace building in rural communities. According to him, educating the Fulani children would help them understand the dangers of engaging in violence and other societal vices. In Rivers State, the administrator of Ahoadad East local government area of the state, Goodluck Ihemnacho, has resigned. Ihemnacho is one of the administrators appointed by the state sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, for the 23 local government areas of the state. His resignation, contained in a letter dated June 20, 2025, which has generated controversies in the state and addressed to Ibas, said his resignation was informed by his desire to return to the private sector. Meanwhile, a source who pleaded anonymity because of the sensitive nature of the matter alleged that some yet-to-be-identified persons had invaded the council and manhandled him Nacho, forcing him to sign the resignation later. A political group, the National Opposition Coalition, led by the former Vice President Atiku El-Rufai and ex-Kaduna State Governor Atiku El-Rufai, has formed a new political party, All Democratic Alliance (ADA). The coalition has subsequently applied to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the registration of the new political party. However, the application was officially acknowledged by INEC on Friday, signaling the coalition's determination to float a new platform instead of aligning with any existing political party. The formation of ADA, backed by some other key politicians, including former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, the convener of the League of Northern Democrats, and former aide to President Olusegun Obasanjo, Umar Ado, seeks to capitalize on political realignments to challenge President Bola Tinubu in 2027. The application comes just a few days after INEC warned political groups that no amount of pressure or public sentiment would override the need for strict compliance with constitutional and electoral guidelines. However, Atiku's media aide Paul Ibe said he was not aware of the party's registration move. One person has been injured and 62 houses destroyed after suspected herders attacked farming communities in Bali local government area of Taraba State. A pond which is located between Bali and Atongo villages is said to be the bone of contention between the tea farming communities and Fulani herders. According to the chairman of Bali local government area, Aboki Dauda, peace was breached when a woman went to the pond to fetch water and was confronted by a cow that competed with her for water. She was thereafter allegedly beaten by the herders. The woman later raised an alarm over the incident, which prompted reactions from members of her community. Speaking, a farmer, Ezekiel Wo, in Baki village, who narrowly escaped death, revealed that on that day, they were working on their farms and saw them coming from different directions with sticks and machetes, and they had to flee for their lives. Meanwhile, the Taraba state government, when its delegation visited the affected area to provide succor in the form of non-food items, said it will not tolerate any breach of peace in the form of communal clashes or any farmers and herders conflict to scuffle its peace efforts. Nigerians and the hostilities between Israel and Iran have called for help from underground shelters amid heavy exchange of missiles between the two countries. Those who spoke to journalists slammed the Nigerian government for not doing enough, adding that other countries had started evacuating their citizens. Meanwhile, the federal government said it is awaiting border clearance to rescue over 1,000 Nigerians in the warring countries. Some Nigerians living in major Israeli cities recounted their ordeals. A Nigerian in Tel Aviv, Ekene Abaka, in a hasty Facebook message, said since the onslaught began, members of the Nigerian community in the city had joined other foreigners to take over in underground shelters provided by the Israeli military, pending an opportunity to escape the country. A software engineer living in Jerusalem who spoke on condition of anonymity said Nigerians in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem had been scrambling for the past few days since the face-off between the two nations started. He said though many Israelis had died, no casualties had been recorded among Nigerians so far, lamenting that the Nigerian embassy had closed all official and diplomatic activities without supporting distressed Nigerians in the country. On our foreign news today, the family of Zambia's late President Edgar Lungu announced on Friday that he will be buried in South Africa after a rift with the Zambian government over its plans for a state funeral. Lungu's family on Wednesday stopped his body from being repatriated from South Africa, where he died in hospital on June 5, after it emerged that President Hakainde Hichilema planned to receive it upon arrival against the late leader's wishes. In response to that, President Hichilema cut short an extended period of national mourning for Lungu, whom he replaced in 2021 after winning elections. After late Lungu lost his presidential bid in 2021, his wife and children have been charged with corruption and possession of suspected proceeds of crime in what the family has claimed to be part of a political plot. Still on the foreign news, President Donald Trump's government on Friday ordered mass layoffs at Voice of America, VOA, and other government-funded media, moving ahead with gutting the outlets, despite legal disputes and criticism that U.S. adversaries will benefit. Carrie Lake, favoring Trump's support and named to a senior role at the U.S. Agency for Global Media, said the notices were a long overdue effort to dismantle a bloated, unaccountable bureaucracy. Lake, in a statement, said that she would work with the State Department and Congress to make sure that the telling of American story is modernized, effective, and aligned with Americans' foreign policy. Termination notices were sent to 639 employees on Friday after previous offers of voluntary departures and dismissals of contractors. Some 1,400 positions have been eliminated, with only 250 remaining, Lake said. Voice of America layoffs includes journalists from East Asian Service who had briefly been brought back to work at Israel attacked Iran a week ago. Meanwhile, employees have filed a lawsuit challenging Lake's action, which come even though Congress had already appropriated funding. Now, the world of sports, Portugal captain Cristiano Ronaldo has rejected an offer from River Plate head coach Marcelo Gallardo for him to play at the 2025 FIFA World Cup club with his team. According to Gallardo, he reached out to Ronaldo regarding the possibility of playing for the Argentine club at the Club World Cup, but Ronaldo rejected the offer as he wanted to prepare for next season. Gallardo had previously coached Ronaldo when he took charge of a Riyadh All-Star team for a friendly match against Paris Saint-Germain in 2023. Still on sports, substitute Bruno Henrique played a starring role as Flamengo came back in the second half to beat Chelsea 3-1 at the Club World Cup on Friday. With this, the club is maintaining an impressive record for South American teams so far at the competition. Chelsea were stunned and their hopes of pulling level again were effectively destroyed when substitute Nicholas Jackson was sent off in the 68th minute. The two wins from two at the tournament, Flamengo are now on the brink of qualification for the last 16 from Group D. Chelsea, meanwhile, were unable to repeat the victory obtained in their opening game against Los Angeles FC, but will be hopeful of securing a place in the knockout phase in their final group outing against Esperance of Tunisia. And to end the news, here are our major news headlines. Nigerians in the hostility between Israel and Iran have called up for help from underground shelters amid heavy exchange of missiles between the two countries. And President Donald Trump's government on Friday ordered mass layoffs at Voice of America and other government-funded media. Portugal captain Cristiano Ronaldo has rejected an offer from River Plate head coach Marcelo Gallardo for him to play at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup with his team. And that was the TV Sapienza News at 1. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I am Oluchi Ojo Bamidele. Thank you for choosing TV Sapienza.